You do not need to be intelligent to do SEO. Listen, I just saw a video of a guy on YouTube talking about how if you're not intelligent, don't even try and do SEO. Leave it to the intelligent people and, not to even bother trying. And it's kind of silly because it's obvious what he's doing. He's trying to make himself feel good because he's an SEO himself, and he's saying that only smart people can do it. There's this barrier to entry and I'm smart enough, all right? It's silly. It's a really silly thing to come out with, and I think most people in my position just saw that, laughed at it, moved on. But the reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to make it very clear to anyone out there that's young and looking to start this as a career that you absolutely can do it, whether you consider yourself to be intelligent or not. Okay, so here's the thing, right? It's going to cost you about £200 or $200, something like that, whether UK, US. Buy a domain name, buy some hosting, and just give it a go. Try and rank for a service keyword, and you'd be very surprised that if you try and rank for like SEO and then the location, or search engine optimization and then your town name, you'd be very surprised as to how easy it is to rank for some of those keywords. I done this early on with web design because I started off offering web design. And long story short, and I don't want to take too long with this video, but I basically ended up ranking for web design Colchester, where I'm based, and then I ended up getting a lot of the agencies contact me, and I worked for them, and then they ended up getting me doing SEO for them. And that was the whole sort of thing here, was like, if you can get rankings, people want those rankings. And SEO is not rocket science. You do not need to be highly intelligent. What you need to know is how to learn. If you can learn something, you can do SEO. And you might think, oh, I'm not a very good learner. Well, I guarantee you the reason you think that is because of a low self-confidence. I had the same thing. I used to think I was bad at learning, and I'm not like really talented at learning new things, but I do it anyway. And that's what you've got to do. Look at somebody like me, and look, I'm not like one of these top guys, but I am doing very well for myself compared to where I come from, right? Look at somebody like me, not highly intelligent, not really quick learner or anything like that, but I spend ages learning. It takes me probably longer than the average, probably longer than it will take you to learn something, okay? But I do it anyway, and that's all you got to do. Find someone who's good on YouTube. Here are two people I recommend, other than myself, of course. Chase Rayner and Ruan Marino. Watch those guys' videos, buy a domain and just try out what they're saying, and then test it and see whether or not it works. Have a look at it and get used to using Google Search Console, because that's what's going to give you back data the quickest. So check those guys out, watch their stuff, watch my stuff, and actually try it, and then see, in a few years from now, whether or not you needed to be this super high IQ intelligent person, or whether you needed to actually just do it. Let me give you a quick story about something that happened to me that may give you a little bit of inspiration. I had a client come to me, they wanted to rank for a certain keyword, and I told them, I don't think I can do that, but I can do this. And I said, I can rank you for these long tail keywords, we'll get more traffic coming in. And he said, all right, great, do it. So I done it, right? And I showed him, he was happy with it, he was pleased with the results that we were getting. And anyway, he phones me up one day and he says to me, Dan, look, I like what you're doing, your work's good, but I'm gonna be honest with you, if you can't get us ranking for that keyword, I am, and in a bad way, he very colourfully said it's not going to be very good for him. So when he said basically that his business would go under if I don't do it, I really like this client, and I like all of my clients. Anyone that pays money for me to do work for them, I want to succeed, because, and this is something else that I see a lot of people doing wrong, is when they don't like their clients, you've got to realise that your clients are the ones that are paying for your lifestyle. The reason why I'm comfortable right now is because clients pay for my services. So if I don't want them to do well, there's something wrong, You've got to want your clients to win. You've really got to want them to win, and you've got to keep pushing until they do. And I felt like with this client, like I really don't want him to be in a bad position. I like him a lot. I like all my clients, but I really like this client as well. And so I basically said, okay, let me see what I can do. I really focused my attention on ranking for this keyword. Put a lot of time into it. Went really above and beyond. Weekends, that was what made me buy. This is how it made me grow. It made me buy my license for, or subscription for Page Optimizer Pro, Carl Roof's tool that is about on-page SEO. I got the on-page perfect, like to really high level. I can't remember exactly what, but it was as close as perfect as I could get it. This was an e-commerce site, by the way. And from there, I'd done a bunch of internal links and backlinks, like all of the SEO stuff. But I kept going and going and going, and it weren't doing anything. And then one day, we ended up at the bottom of page 1, and he phoned me up and he's like, Dan, this is bloody great. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I was, we're both really excited. Then I ended up getting into position number 3. And then now, as things stand, we're at position number 2. So we are one spot away from ranking #1. This keyword gets thousands of searches every month with proper commercial intent. Like, it brings sales in, and you can track everything through analytics. I've often shown this keyword on my channel here. But yeah, it brings in a lot of traffic and a lot of sales. And throughout this whole lockdown period, his problem has been very different to everyone else's. Everyone else's problem is they're not selling enough. His problem is he sold too many. So I ran a promotion. It was a gift card, and I ran this promotion. He phoned me up and said, "Dan, we got to stop it because we can't keep up with these orders." So even on the website right now, if you go on there, they can't deliver the product within until 2 weeks. They used to do a 2-day service. It's now 2 weeks because they're selling too much. So the reason I was able to provide that level of service is because I stuck at it, and I kept going and going and going and going and going until I got it there. It didn't work for a long time, and I didn't even think I could do it at first, but then I managed to actually get it done by just pushing and learning more and more and more. So it forced me to go down the route of, I couldn't rank for the keyword. I tried doing what I knew. It didn't work. So then I was looking, okay, who knows how to do this? Because I want to find that guy and learn from them. Then it pushed me down the route of learning from Carl Roof, looking at Page Optimizer Pro, learning all that stuff, which took me ages, to be honest, because I'm not a fast learner. It took me a long time. I spent many weekends looking at that stuff. Then figuring out the next part of this I didn't even include in this was, there's a developer that's not associated with my business at all. And so I had to learn how to work with him and get him to do the job. So I was managing the whole project. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff when I started. And I learned as I was going along. You know, I'm listening to different people on YouTube, learning how to do project management, you know, whatever it is. I managed the whole thing through Trello, which a company I used to work for taught me how to do. But look, this is the point I'm making, is that you learn things. You aren't born with any of this stuff. And I don't know if I've already made this point or not now, but you wasn't born knowing how to read and write or communicate. You wasn't born knowing how to speak. You wasn't born knowing how to drive. So why would it be any different for a skill like SEO? It's not. And people who say it are trying to big themselves up, and you don't need to listen to it. You need to listen to people like me, people like Ruan Marino, people like Chase Rayner, and people like Ryan Stewart. If you do that, you'll be successful in SEO.